What's up guys, and welcome to Syndicate of Souls, an old-fashioned MOBA where you command a retainer and their vessel into battle to farm creeps, take objectives, and defeat your enemies. Syndicate of Souls is somewhat unique to the typical lane pushing experience, so let's take a look at what new players need to know to get started.
In Syndicate of Souls, each player chooses a retainer, which is the character controlled in battle. Each retainer has a resource pool, 3 spells, and a passive. Some retainers have 3 basic spells, while others have 2 basic spells and an ultimate ability, which they unlock later during the game. After selecting a retainer in the draft phase, each player then selects a vessel. Vessels are the weapons retainers wield in battle and can be either melee or ranged. Each has a unique auto attack, resource pool, and 2 spells. Some vessels also have a unique toggle effect. In addition, vessels can be swapped with allied teammates at any point in the game. The way you control your retainer in Syndicate of Souls is like any other MOBA. Right-click to move and attack enemies, while left-click selects characters to access information about them, such as stats or items. Some summoned creatures can also be managed by their owner by selecting them with left-click or box select. Items are divided into 2 categories. Passive items give stats such as physical power, health, and other unique effects. In contrast, active items give temporary effects, but are consumed on use. Some consumable items require a passive item to unlock, such as Arcane Pact requiring an Inscriber Satchel to purchase and use. You can drop active items, which can be picked up and used by other players. Well-timed deliveries or gifts in base can help your teammates, especially in the early game.
Let's get moving!
The main way to increase damage is through buying passive items that grant physical or ethereal power, which increase the damage that attacks and spells deal. All spells deal either physical or magical damage, which can be mitigated using armor and magic resist respectively, while health gives overall defenses against both damage types. Instead of critical strike chance, attacks are enhanced using soul empowerment, which builds up as a charge. At 100 soul empowerment, your next attack deals additional damage. On the other hand, block rating reduces the damage taken from incoming auto attacks by a percent value, up to 40%. Because many abilities in the game scale with both physical and ethereal power, there's very few limits to the combinations you can make, from orthodox archetypes to the unconventional but highly effective meme builds. Retainers and vessels all have a distinct resource bar that they use, meaning each player must manage 2 resources during gameplay. There's 3 possible resources, all of which are affected by both the resource and resource regeneration stats. Mana is a large pool of resource that scales directly with both resource and resource regeneration. Energy is a smaller pool that scales with resource at a smaller rate, but regenerates in short bursts after not casting spells. Resource regeneration reduces the amount of time needed to spend to begin regaining energy. Rage has a static pool of 100 resource, which builds up when dealing or receiving damage in combat, building up faster based off of resource regeneration. Outside of combat, rage decays to a minimum, which is increased using the resource stat. Buffs and debuffs follow an alignment system, being either physical, ethereal, or natural. Some effects interact with buffs and debuffs of certain alignments. Dispels remove effects from 2 alignments. Keep this in mind when drafting retainers and vessels to counter enemy buffs and debuffs. Crowd control is also affected by alignments, allowing for more reliable dispelling of CC from allies and more meaningful counters against powerful crowd control chains. Before a game starts, each player can select talents to enhance their retainer in unique ways. Each talent costs an amount of points represented by the number in the bottom right corner of the icon. Selecting one talent from a given row, or the equivalent in points from previous rows, unlocks the next row until the bottom row that capstones are reached. Capstones require full investment into a given tree, but are much more powerful than other talents. Thank you for watching, and to all of our Patreon supporters who help finance the project. Be sure to check both the Syndicate of Souls website and Discord for official news about the game, and we hope to see you soon scoring some awesome plays.